that they set up, and obviously looking for the pace of Damari Gray, and in particular this young man who figured in a number of the key incidents we're going to actually have a look at. I like him, Tim, Anthony Gordon. I think there's a young player in there who wants to make something happen, wants to try and travel in these areas. He was always going to be a threat to this man down in these areas if he got the chance to do it, and he showed that in the game, didn't he?
Listen, why I look for positives, and the positive certainly for the football club is that Anthony Gordon has come to the front.
Yeah.
Now, if they were doing better, you know, all the other guys who want us to play, Donny van der Beek, and
Dele Alli.
He wouldn't play.
No.
Reputations would have played before him. Now, he's got the opportunity in adversity. And sometimes you need to grab that opportunity. Now, we're talking about a breakthrough season for this kid, and they're struggling in relegation. It's not his fault. He's the shining light. Now, all of a sudden, they know that he's the future of the club. You can trust him. So what I don't want to happen, them to stay in the Premier League, spend an awful lot of money again if they've got it, and then he sits on the sideline. He's earned his right. He's earned his right because in a very difficult environment, he wants to roll up his sleeves and he wants to fight for the badge of that football club.
Very true. Very good point made. Let's have a look then, Tim, at how they frustrated Liverpool, how they kind of sat in with that low block. Of course, they had the disappointment of losing Ben Godfrey in the warm-up, so Michael Keane came in there alongside Mason Holgate. There's a four. You can see that back four there, pretty compact.
Yeah.
You can see 5 midfield players here in front of them with just Richarlison up there. And the idea, Tim, of doing that is to what? Condense spaces?
No distance behind, no distance in front. So really, when you coach this, Andy, you get them on the coaching field, and you would have done it yourself at times. You make sure the distances are not too far to the sides and in front. Everyone's in contention, so you can get helped out by your mates. Now, Liverpool will obviously try with Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold will spread the play. Now, they were quite happy for them to come wide and cross the ball from deep areas. Now, they're letting them have the wide ones. What they didn't want them to do is come through the middle of them. You know, you've got players who can handle the ball in the tight areas who can really exploit you. So it was about keeping the midfield nice and condensed, keep the distance of the back four nice and condensed. And it was really Richarlison who was putting pressure on. It's all about the question of where does the pressure start?
Okay, who triggers that?
Well, it doesn't matter who does it, but when they can't go in isolation. And I think that at times they got picked off in isolation, but they would draw a line. So Frank would have had him on the training field a full pitch, and he would have said, like, okay, 20 yards in. All depends who's got the ball as well. You know, if it's Thiago, he can find the pass. We know that.
So you need to
get space. So Pickford will be off his line. If that one comes in behind, so his starting position will be higher, so he can come and collect everything. And then the distances of the midfield in front, and it's all about the trigger. Who puts the pressure on? You can't let people start having time on the ball in these areas because then it's far easier to find the pass.
Yeah, indeed. You can see Decore here just getting reasonably close, forcing Thiago back.
Yeah.
The idea is normally when you're shuffling teams across the field, you want, if it's Thiago in possession who's got that pass, as Tim says, can he give it to Joel Matip, someone perhaps slightly less effective with the ball at his feet? That's what you're trying to do. You don't want to go too tight and they play through you. You're asking them to maybe go and give it to somebody not quite so effective. In a team like Liverpool, that's not so easy to do because they can all play.
That's a great point. I mean, it's hard to, you're absolutely right, it's hard. Probably Matip is probably the worst in the ball. And we would call him a pressing victim. So we had a pressing victim, so we block off the other pathways and we let him encourage the ball to go into the worst passer. And as soon as it does, then we go and put the squeeze on. But it's very difficult to find a worse passer.
Fabinho can do it, Thiago can do it, the fullbacks are terrific on it. So, yeah, absolutely right, Tim. But Everton in the main, compact, narrow, no one's really getting stretched. Then when we pinch the ball, can we find those two boys in the wider areas to give us an outlet, to give us a breather, to allow that back four to get up the field? Again here, another set, Tim, another position here.
Look at Frank, look how calm he is there. I mean, and there's no panic. I mean, if I'm Frank there, I put myself in his shoes, I'm happy. I'm happy with that shape. What I wouldn't be happy with is time and time again they won the ball, whether it was Gordon, whether it was Damari Gray, whether it was Richarlison, and they were a little bit in isolation when they broke. So I wouldn't be standing there as Frank thinking, we'll score in a minute. I'd be thinking, can we hold on? Are we going to be switched on mentally, and can we handle it physically? Now, time and time again, I've heard managers, I've played in teams when we've dominated the ball, and I hear the manager come to the side of the pitch and say, they're not hurting us. You know, and I've on the other side of it, on the defensive side of it, you know, when they go across and side to side, but physically and mentally, you're getting drained. So I always just to shout back at the manager, tell my legs that, because my legs are getting drained. I mean, I'm mentally, I'm getting, and that is what they're waiting for, Liverpool. Be patient.
Tim, there's a good example of that, what you're saying there. Watch Doucouré here. I'll just circle him there, Doucouré. So he's got tight to Thiago, done his job. Thiago's dropped it off to Joel Matip, and now watch Doucouré. I've got to recover my place, get myself straight back into that spot.
Yeah.
Can I now pick up Sadio Mane? Can I now fill that gap, which is all important on the edge of the box? Yes, I can, and they do their job. But it's kind of always that, isn't it?
Yeah.
You go into someone and then you're adjusting your position straight away, got to go somewhere else.
I used to say always to my number 6, or Doucouré on this occasion, if you're in and around the referee, you're in a decent position, because they normally pick up the position in the middle of the pitch. So anywhere around him there, this is the area you don't want them to find the ball and get on the half turned.
No.
Anywhere in this area here, you need to make sure you've got numbers around.
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing. But Liverpool are just patient. They're used to this. Teams coming back and sitting back against them. So they've got players like Thiago who can find a pass. They've got Mo Salah who can drop his shoulder with a little bit of skill. It was just a matter of time. In my opinion, it was a matter of time before they found a little bit of magic.
Yeah, before they did, indeed. But Everton, to their credit, and obviously we'll have a look at some of the stats and the numbers in a minute, Tim, that, you know, they hardly had the ball in the game.
Yeah.
And yet they were able to create some situations because they had those pacey boys in the wide areas. I mean, Frank obviously got criticised a bit for this, Tim, and when we see these numbers, here we go, 17.6% possession, only 95 passes completed. Thiago completed more himself for Liverpool. But if it was Big Sam, if it's Jose, if it's a lot of experienced managers, they wouldn't have done anything a lot different to that, would they?
No, absolutely not.
They wouldn't have done.
Rafa Benitez?
Rafa wouldn't have.
Exactly the same.
Rafa would have done exactly the same
if
as
not
that.
worse. I think what them guys have got a personality and they've got a reputation to do that against the lesser side. So they haven't got to play Liverpool every week.
No.
So maybe this might get him a result playing in this negative style. You have to say it's a negative style, but they might, because you know what? Against the lesser side, they would give the ball away more, and then they can break with the likes of Gordon and Damari Gray and Richarlison. Maybe find a place for Calvert-Lewin if you've got an extra, focal point up front. But look, when you look at the stats, it looks like, for me, it's like a boxer who stepped into the ring and not thrown a punch, just covered up and knows he's going to lose. So the counter argument is, why not try and throw a few punches, see if you can score yourself, and then you've got something to hang on to. But like we say, I thought they did a reasonable job overall, but please get these stats off, because it contradicts what I'm saying.
No, it's true. No, but we get it. Let's have a look at Anthony Gordon, Tim. We've been speaking about how good he's been.
Yeah.
He was involved in some key moments. Now, like a lot of younger players, when they come into a team, he's full of energy, he's keen, he's exciting, and he gets fouled. He does get fouled quite a lot. I mean, that's a blatant shove there from Trent outside the box, I think, that they got away with. Is he looking for too many of these, Tim, or not?
Is he looking for too many of these?
Too many fouls? Is he looking for it too often?
Yeah, you'd have to say.
One, Tim. This was the one I personally felt watching it. I thought this was a penalty. I did. I really did. And we'll speed it up. We'll let it go at normal pace so as you can make the decision yourself. I think there's a definite arm and a shove there from Joel Matip. Now, is it enough to knock Anthony Gordon to the floor? Is that a point? Does that matter if it's enough? He's actually shoved him, leaned into him. I thought that one was Tim. This was obviously a blatant foul from Trent, but you could see the threat this boy caused on the day.
Such great pace. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. The penalty shout, I think if he stays on it a little bit longer and does not go down, I think Matip will run into the back of him. He will run into the back of him, and his legs will make contact, and that would have to make the mind up with the referee. As it was, he's relying on that just a little shove. I still think it's a shout for a penalty. I really do. I agree with you. But I think if he just stays up a little bit longer, I think their legs get tangled up, and the referee would have absolutely no option to give a penalty. So the boy is crafty. Yeah, that's what he is. He's crafty. I call him
trying to play smart.
Clever.
Yeah,
he's clever. Is his reputation going to go before him? Referees possibly sit down with a cup of tea and talk about certain individuals in the Premier League who tried to buy the fouls. I would be saying to him, keep going down, but only when you get contact. The one where he dives for the penalty does you no favours, because that will come back to haunt you.
Let's have a look at, Tim, that maybe have a look at these clips here. Some of the referees, if they are having a cup of tea and talking about players before games, we'll see this one. Let me just cue that again, excuse me. There we go. Oh, it's just not coming up, the Anthony Gordon. Yeah, Anthony Gordon winning fouls. He's done it actually quite a lot in terms of taking tumbles in not such important areas of the field. And if we watch some of these, Tim, some of these these are the little decisions, referees watch this, so these are the ones that kind of, the reason why he doesn't get some of them in the box when it matters. Yeah,
I mean, he does it so he can take his team up the field and gains an advantage. So he gives the defenders a breather sometimes. Like he wins this one back here. Like he's in a terrible position, so he just gets his body across and takes the contact. So he initiates the contact all of the time. So he takes a step across and initiates contact. When he gets hit, look, winning. Look, that relieves pressure.
That's a sensible foul to take.
It relieves pressure. You see that on the continent. We see in that every single game.
It's very true.
Yeah, and
see again there.
Yeah.
That one is going over a little bit easy, but it is...
This is when he wins the penalty, this one, Andy, when Westwood gets the wrong side of him. So he goes there and he slows himself down. He slows it, waits for the contact, and like I said about Matip, he takes a little bit longer before he hits the ground, and then his legs get tangled up. Westwood knows he's fooled the referee, but they're entitled to give penalties when they're running into the back of people.
Yeah. Sometimes it's slightly unfair. The one thing I would say for Anthony Gordon, Tim, is those fouls in and around the middle of the pitch and on the edge of the box, they're important ones to take. I think in the box, I do think it's his kind of, at the moment, it's his first thought. Yeah. I'm going to try and go down. Yeah. It's my first thought, can I win us a pen? Yeah. I think when you get in the box, when you're backing Joel Matip into the box, your first thought should be, if I get beyond him, can I get myself a goal?
Yeah, like Mo Salah's first thought is, can I score?
Can I score a goal?
Can I get a little half a yard to get my shot off?
Yeah.
If he can't, then he does the same thing. They're clever, they're crafty.
Better.
Yeah, I want to make a point about this pass from Mo Salah. He could have rolled this ball. If you stop it when he gets it, Andy, stop it there.
Just not stopping there, unfortunately.
Okay, so I'll just show you what he does is he picks the ball up. We'll get it back. We'll reset it again. Instead of rolling that ball along the floor, he picks it up. So I think it's the fullback here. He tries to hit him on the hand. It's
Mikalenko, yeah.
Mikalenko. You watch him pull his arm out the way because he knows he can't handball it. He's crafty with his pass. He dinks it up. Look, he pulls his arm out the way, and that allows him this half a second here to get himself past him into a position. Wonderful care on the pass from Origi, and his stand-up is exquisite to the back post, and Robertson's always there to threaten at the back post. There's a great header, wrong foot's Pickford who's coming across. It was a wonderful goal, but it was just was it not? Was you sitting there watching and thinking it's just a matter of time before someone finds a little bit of magic like this? And invariably it's always that little genius, Mo Salah.
He's involved, he's in the thick of it. It's interesting, Diogo Jota there climbing like he's done recently to try and get his head on it. But Andy Robertson again those fullbacks so high up the field, pressing and pushing, massive goal, huge goal for them in the game. Mo Salah, Tim, I think at this point is now most assists, Premier League assists this season. Yeah. Just in front of Trent and Andrew Robertson. That is incredible, isn't it?
Unbelievable how he's done. I mean, everyone talks about him being selfish, no? I mean, I think he gets unfairly criticised. He doesn't get the respect for the amount of assists and the amount of goals he makes for the club as well. He works tirelessly. He's always a threat. Yes, of course he's a goal threat, but he's also unselfish at times as well. Yeah, and he's seen that. That was a wonderful pick out there to the back post for Robertson.
Let's have a look at 2-0, Tim. Let's have a look at this Divock Origi, the 2-0 goal. So we've got this situation. We've got it wide in the corner, and here we go. I think they could have dealt with this better, Everton. I think they could have done more. Keep your eye on Jordan Henderson here, because the ball actually beats everybody. Once that ball clears the ruck of traffic in here and comes out towards the edge of the box, you've got a decision to make, Tim, as a defender. Are we getting out, or are we going to pick up and stay in there? Just have a little look at this and just see what you think happens.
That's a Richarlison. That's an attacking
forward player.
That's an attacking player, but
that's come off the post.
To come out. They cannot come out with this jagged line like this. They have to come out.
Could they have got to here, Tim, this sort of level?
Absolutely, because all that does is, by not coming out, you have to defend another one. You're going to have to defend now and cause you problems. As long as you're watching what you're leaving, you need to sink them. We could have sunk him.
Yeah.
So they need to come up. They need to come up, and they need to be higher, even higher than what they was. I think this would be. I'm not sure who that was. Maybe Coleman, is it? Or you say, but he needs to come up someone needs to lead it. If that's Van Dijk, if that's the Liverpool side, Van Dijk is saying we're coming here, and everyone comes. And if they don't, they get told. I'm not sure that they've got that.
It's still a pause,
cohesion.
Tim, even at that point there. Jordan Henderson has let that ball run, he's let it run. Mason Holgate hasn't moved an inch.
Yeah, or Keane. Keane needs to come up as well. And all of these will be offside. All of these Liverpool players will be offside, and the move will be over. And not only that, you clear the traffic for Pickford. But you know how much Pickford likes to come out. He comes quick. If that cross is too high, he will come quick and late and catch it.
Yeah.
But you need to clear the area from these Everton defenders.
They don't do that. Luis Diaz it is with that incredible acrobatic scissor kick. And credit Divock Origi there, Tim, because he's still got a little bit to do. His movement is great, just to get that half a yard, isn't it?
And the spin on the ball. If you looked at the spin on the ball, to be able to get that on target. I know he's 6'5", and he's a big lad, but his reaction as well. Look, he reacts quicker than anyone, and that ball is spinning. I think we see it from the next angle. The ball's spinning. This is easy to head over the bar. It can just fly off the top of your head for the big occasion. When they brought Origi on, even I know how he loves these big games and loves playing against Everton. But I'm thinking, oh, that's, you know what, that's a tick in the box for Frank Lampard.
Look who he scores most of his.
Origi.
Look who he scores. How much does that seriously go through a coach's mind? Oh, today we're playing Everton. I'm going to get him involved. Do you think like that?
100% Jurgen Klopp thought like that at the weekend. I'm not bringing him on. There's plenty of other options where I think I can turn to. But Jurgen knows in the back of his mind. Kenny used to do it all the time, Kenny Dalglish. Sir Alex Ferguson, I know he used to do it. There were certain players who like playing against certain teams, and they give him the opportunity. And he is a big game player. That was huge. The longer the time was ticking, the more getting in the way. The anxiety around the crowd.
Yeah.
You need a goal. Jurgen's like, send him on. On you go, son. He's calling him the best finisher at the football club.
I know.
I mean, he's going to have to be some player to be the best finisher at that club.
And he's kind of number 6. He's like number 5 or 6 in terms of getting a starting position. He's way down the pecking order, but
he does come out on the big occasion.
Certainly does.
They wheel him out, and he comes and he performs. It doesn't matter if he's playing 2 minutes or starting the game.
No.
He gives everything for the club.
Yeah.
He's loved there. He's an idol there at that football club.
He's probably been the most influential sub since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Yeah.
Probably coming off the bench. He really has. He's been that good. Hashtag PL fans is where you can find us. Do you agree or disagree about Divock Origi? Should Liverpool keep him maybe in the summer, or do you think it's time to allow him to go and play his football and play in a regular spot elsewhere?